Hello and welcome to this tokenforge product demo. In this demo, we will be showing the Registrar Studio V2, our smart contract suite compliant with the eWpG, Germany's Electronic Security Act. This video consists of two parts. In order to set up the stage, we will start by briefly introducing the eWpG and mentioning not only the advantages of crypto securities, but also the challenges faced when developing a Web3 solution compliant with regulation. The second part of the video will be dedicated to the demo of the Registrar Studio. If you are only interested in the second part, please jump to around the 4-minute mark of this video. So, what is the eWpG? This law was introduced in June of 2021 to regulate electronic securities in Germany. It is a big step towards modernizing the German capital market, as electronic securities don't need to be backed by a physical document that has to be moved or stored by a custody bank. The electronic security is the actual entry in a digital registry kept by the regulated registrar. Depending on how this registry is kept, electronic securities can be categorized in central electronic securities and crypto securities. Central electronic securities are kept by a central registry in a central database, and their management is very similar to the traditional securities. tokenforge has developed the Registrar Studio for crypto registrars that want to use EVM-based blockchains for their registries. Crypto securities bring a lot of benefits when compared to the traditional process. Thanks to the use of trustless and decentralized systems, crypto securities need less intermediaries. This leads to a more cost-efficient process with faster settlement times. The reduction of costs reduces a barrier of entry for issuers and investors that want to participate in the capital market, therefore making it more liquid. Finally, this leaner process allows for a direct connection between issuers and investors. The eWpG has 4 main requirements that present a challenge when trying to provide a Web3-based solution. First of all, it needs to be possible to restrict which investor is allowed to invest on any given crypto security. Not all securities are suitable for all investor types. Cases like inheritance or insolvency, where a third party is required to intervene, need to be considered. Information needs to be confidential to the issuer, investors, and regulated parties. And finally, it should be possible to describe the main characteristics and features of the security, like special provisions made for dispositions or rights for third parties. When looking for a Web3 compliant solution, we started with the most common standard used in EVM-based blockchains, the ERC-20. This standard by itself has many properties that make it suitable for the use with crypto securities. By default, it is a registry that keeps balances of token holders. It requires a cryptographic signature to transfer, mint, or burn tokens. It is able to store attributes of the token, and it runs in a decentralized and immutable blockchain. Nevertheless, there are some challenges that need to be addressed in order for this standard to fulfill all of the eWpG requirements. First of all, as an open standard, it does not distinguish between users, and its use cannot be restricted to a specific group. It doesn't have a governance feature that would allow a third party to act on behalf of the token holders. Finally, if deployed on a public permissionless blockchain, the pseudonymous data is readable to the public. We have leveraged our great understanding of the regulatory framework as well as our Web3 technical expertise to develop the Registrar Studio, a triad of smart contracts that allow the management of crypto securities in compliance with Germany's Electronic Security Act. These interoperating smart contracts enable a crypto registrar to control the access of investors and manage the rights and roles of third parties that need to interact with a crypto security. The basis of this solution are the Factory and Permission 55 smart contracts. The Permission 55 is used to manage roles and permissions by minting or burning 1155 tokens to a user's wallet. For example, to whitelist an investor, an 1155 token will be minted with the ID associated with this role. The factory contract is used to deploy new crypto register contracts that listen to the Permission 55 contract to define the set of permissions applicable for the security. Now that you have a better understanding of the eWpG and how the Registrar Studio works, let's see it in practice. We will start off by explaining the structure of the Registrar Studio and its main functionalities. Then, we will go through the process of deploying a register smart contract and issuing crypto securities to an investor. Finally, we will see what are the actions that an investor or a regulated third party can take with help of this tool. The tool shown today is a front end to interact with the Registrar Studio smart contracts. Nevertheless, our solution is headless, meaning that it can be integrated via API to the crypto registrar's asset management tool. In order to execute functions in the smart contracts, the user needs to confirm them by signing the transactions with their preferred EVM-compatible wallet solution. For sake of simplicity and this demo, we will use MetaMask to sign all transactions. Nevertheless, we recommend the use of more secure options such as hardware wallets or multi-sig wallets when operating in a regulated environment. On the top right, the user can connect their MetaMask wallet to the tool and select the blockchain where the contracts are deployed. In this case, we are connecting with a wallet with an admin role, which has permission to run all functions of the smart contracts. On the left side, we see a list of all of the methods that are used during the crypto securities lifecycle and for permissions management. At the bottom of the screen, the coupled permission 55 and factory contract are displayed with a direct link to the block explorer. Under Registry Overview, the user sees a list of all register smart contracts deployed with a factory smart contract. From here, the crypto registrar can deploy new registers for securities. Once a register contract is deployed, securities can be issued via the mint button or in batches using the batch mint feature. After issuance, securities can be transferred to other wallets either by the holder or a regulated third party approved by the crypto registrar. Investors can also allocate an allowance for a specific amount of their securities to another wallet. For example, investors can give allowance to their asset managers so that assets can be moved on their behalf. One of the main features of the Registrar Studio is to be able to manage permissions for a smart contract. This gives the crypto registrar the option to delegate responsibilities within their teams. Under mint permissions, a user with the correct role can mint the corresponding token to the receiver's wallet. The list of roles currently include the admin role, which is able to call any function of the register smart contract and mint any permission. With a deployer role, the holder can deploy register smart contracts. The holder of a whitelist or blacklist admin role can mint whitelist or blacklist tokens to investors. The minter role can issue new crypto securities. This role could be given directly to the issuer of the security. With the operator role, the crypto registrar can act on behalf of the investor. And finally, investors need a whitelist token in order to receive a crypto security and are blocked from receiving or transferring securities in case they are blacklisted. In the Permissions Overview section, the crypto registrar can view all minted permissions. Finally, we have the address book, which can be used to store frequently used addresses. In order to keep the Registrar Studio GDPR compliant, the address book is stored locally on the user's browser and is not connected to any database that can reveal the investors behind a wallet. To start off, let's check what roles have already been minted. As you can see, there are already wallets with a deployer role and the whitelist and blacklist admin roles. In this example, we will mint a minter role to the issuer's wallet. For this, we need to select the minter role from the drop-down menu, type in or select the issuer's wallet address, and sign the transaction in MetaMask. Once the token is minted, the issuer can issue security tokens. After this overview of the tool and making sure all needed permissions are minted, we can continue to deploy a register and issue crypto securities to investors. Even though a register can be deployed as an admin, let's switch to a wallet with a deployer role. Under Registry Overview, a new register can be deployed by clicking on the Deploy Register button. The crypto registrar fills out all of the properties of the crypto security that have been provided by the issuer. In this example, we are deploying a contract for a 10-year bond with a denomination of 10,000 euros. Once finished, the contract deployment has to be confirmed by signing the transaction in MetaMask. The new register contract has now been deployed and added to the list of securities managed by the crypto registrar. By clicking on the contract address, we are forwarded to the block explorer where we can see that we have successfully created the contract. After contract deployment, we can proceed to issue securities to an investor's wallet. A prerequisite for this is that the investor has been whitelisted by the crypto registrar to receive the crypto security. We can see that this is the case for the two wallets labeled as investor whitelisted. Now let's switch from the deployer wallet to the minter or issuer wallet. We will use the batch mint function to issue 10 crypto securities to each of these investors by selecting them from the address book or typing down their wallet address in the beneficiary field. After confirming that we want to go through with the transaction, we need to sign it in MetaMask and wait for the transaction to be confirmed. Once again, we can click on the transaction hash to be forwarded to the block explorer, where we can confirm that the crypto securities have been issued. To demonstrate the opposite case, we will now see what happens when we try to issue securities to a wallet that has not been whitelisted. From the address book, we will select an address that we have labeled as investor not whitelisted for the purpose of this demo. In the permissions overview, we can confirm that this address does not have any permissions associated with it. Finally, let's try to mint a security to this wallet address via the Mint button next to the Register contract in the Registry overview. After filling out the needed information and trying to execute the transaction, we immediately get an error message saying that this address has not been whitelisted. Now that we have issued the first crypto securities to investors, let's see in this last section the options that investors have, and finally the actions that the crypto registrar can take on behalf of the investor. For the next examples, we will use the two investors that received 10 crypto securities in the previous step and will refer to them as Investor 1 and Investor 2. Thanks to the decentralized nature of the blockchain, investors can transfer securities to other whitelisted investors without the need of a third party. For this first example, we have switched in MetaMask to Investor 1. From the batch transfer screen, we need to choose the crypto security, the sender, and the receiver. As always, transactions need to be signed in MetaMask. Once the transaction is confirmed, we can check in the Block Explorer the new balance of the holder. Besides transferring securities, investors can also authorize other wallets to transfer securities on their behalf. In this example, Investor 1 will provide an allowance to an asset manager over the remaining 5 securities. Once the transaction has been signed by Investor 1 and confirmed, we can see that the allowance of the asset manager has been updated to 5. To continue with this process, let's now switch to the asset manager's wallet in order to transfer the securities of Investor 1. Once again, we will go to the batch transfer screen and select the security we want to transfer, the sender, which is Investor 1, and Investor 2 as the beneficiary. We will transfer the remaining 5 securities to Investor 2. In the Block Explorer, we can confirm that Investor 2 now holds all 20 crypto securities. To finalize this section, we will demonstrate the operator role. This role is meant to give the crypto registrar governance over the issued crypto securities. Cases such as inheritance or insolvencies require for a regulated third party to be able to transfer securities on behalf of the investor without the need to receive their approval. Using a wallet with the operator role, we will use the transfer as method to transfer 10 securities from Investor 2 back to Investor 1. Once the transaction is signed and confirmed, we can see in the Block Explorer that each investor has 10 securities. This finalizes our demo of the Registrar Studio. We have shown you how the crypto registrar can manage the life cycle of a crypto security. Furthermore, you have seen how the crypto registrar can use the different roles and permissions to allow issuers and investors to manage their securities. We will soon release the V3 version of the Registrar Studio, where we are tackling the requirements for confidentiality and behavior of the crypto security depending on its properties. The Registrar Studio is part of our crypto security suite of products that ensure a compliant end-to-end processing of crypto securities according to the eWpG. The admin dashboard allows issuers to manage their investors' data and crypto securities. Finally, our investor dashboard presents a flexible, white label and headless solution that can be easily implemented to onboard investors and offer securities. For more information on any of our products, feel free to contact us at info@token-forge.io.